Rain hammered the streetlights outside the warehouse. Emily Parker crouched behind a stack of wooden crates. Her heart pounded like thunder in her ears. Cold sweat slicked her skin under the nylon jacket. A single bulb swayed over a concrete floor stained with oil. Thunder rolled as footsteps echoed in the distance. Emily pressed her back against damp bricks, breath ragged. Flashlights stabbed through parted pallets ahead. She heard voices speaking in low, urgent tones. Her pulse raced with each footstep on metal grating. The rain's steady roar outside masked her shallow breaths. She clutched a crumpled letter in her trembling hand. Ink smudged along a fold, but the words felt familiar. This can't be his handwriting, she thought, voice trembling. Lightning flashed through a high window. Shadows danced across the stacked crates and broken chairs. She edged closer to the center of the building. Her fingers traced the first love note she once wrote. Every word now twisted into a cunning trap. A distant click made her blood run ice cold. Emily froze, mind spinning with dread. A tall figure emerged under the swinging bulb. He wore a dark coat and a wide-brimmed hat. His silhouette swallowed the faint yellow light. "Looking for something?" a gravelly voice whispered. Emily's chest tightened. She recognized that control. Her first love's memory felt hijacked by betrayal. Fear tightened its grip as he stepped forward. The man's face remained hidden in shadow. Emily raised the note like a shield, hand shaking. Thunder cracked overhead, rattling the nearby windows. She tasted copper on her tongue, heart in turmoil. A metallic scent drifted from spilled engine oil. Footsteps multiplied behind her in sudden urgency. Emily's eyes darted toward a locked steel door. She bolted toward the exit, crates toppling behind her. A flashlight beam swung wildly, slicing through darkness. Rainwater gushed through a cracked loading bay door. Cold water sloshed around her boots as she ran. Chains clanged above, threatening to fall with a crash. Emily's heart hammered against her ribs like a drum. He knows exactly where I hid the truth, she thought. A hand yanked her arm with brutal force. She screamed as the letter tore from her grip. Lightning briefly illuminated his angry face. She gasped at the twisted smirk on his lips. Before she could react, boots thundered beside them. A new voice barked, "Let her go now!" Emily's eyes widened at the sudden interruption. A second silhouette appeared at the warehouse door. Rainwater dripped from his leather jacket. His stance was firm, voice echoing authority. Emily blinked through tears of fear and relief. Her hand flew to her mouth, heart still racing. She watched as the newcomer approached, determined. The first man hissed and retreated into shadow. Emily sank to her knees, soaked and trembling. Lightning flickered as the newcomer knelt beside her. He extended a gloved hand, voice soft. "Are you okay? I won't let him hurt you." Emily stared at the stranger's concerned eyes. The torn note fluttered in a puddle of rainwater. She realized her past had just collided with danger. A low rumble of thunder rolled across the sky. The warehouse door slammed shut behind the stranger. Emily clutched the ruined note in numb fingers. Her breath caught as new terror and hope mingled. "Who truly set me up?" she whispered to herself. Rain pounded outside as she met his steady gaze. And then lights flickered out, plunging them into darkness. Emily Parker lived on Hayes Street in Portland. She sipped black coffee as dawn tinted the sky. Her small kitchen smelled of toasted bagels. Photos of her younger brother, Mason, lined the shelf. She kissed a framed graduation picture before leaving. Emily worked as a junior architect downtown. Her office sat atop a restored brick warehouse. She sketched blueprints under warm LED lamps. Her cubicle overflowed with model buildings and plans. Coworkers called her ambitious but quietly kind. Every morning, she jogged along the Willamette River. Fog curled above the water at 6 a.m. She treasured the river's calm before busy days. Her favorite spot was beneath the steel bridge's span. Emily paused there often, breathing in mist and hope. At home, Mason still looked up to her. He was 17 with reckless bike stunts. She worried when he stayed out past curfew. Late texts from him made her chest tighten. She promised she'd always keep him safe. Emily's parents lived in nearby Beaverton. They phoned on Sundays after church service. Her mother fussed over her single daughter's life. Her father teased about her childhood treehouse fort. Family dinners felt warm but carried quiet distance. Despite success, Emily felt something missing. Work stressed her tight deadlines and city noise. She yearned for creativity beyond concrete and steel. Late at night, she doodled sentimental love notes. One note she never sent held her deepest secret. That secret involved her first high school romance. Justin Harper had framed her handwriting once. He planted a forged note that shattered their bond. Emily never fully forgave his cruel deception. She buried that memory beneath years of design. On weekends, she volunteered at Habitat for Humanity. She hammered planks under cloudy Oregon skies. Helping others gave her calm she rarely felt. Yet she sensed someone watched her every build. A name whispered in her mind, Justin Harper. Late last Friday, she found a crumpled envelope. It arrived with no return address on Hayes Street. Her breath caught as she noticed the smudged ink. She recognized how the pen strokes tried to mimic. Her stomach twisted when she read the first line. The mystery note hinted at buried old promises. Emily shut her eyes against a rising dread. She folded the letter and slipped it into her pocket. Deep down, she feared her past was not past. Could someone truly frame me again? She wondered. Emily closed her laptop at dusk. She flipped off her desk lamp with a murmur. The crumpled envelope lay beside her mug. Her phone buzzed, Mason's name on the screen. "Hey, Em," he texted. "Are you home?" She glanced out her window at empty street. "No, I'm downtown." "Why?" she replied. Moments later, a soft knock startled her. She froze, heart thumping in sudden alarm. Another knock followed, sharp and urgent. Emily reached for the note in her pocket. She peeked through the peephole, empty porch. Moonlight revealed a dark envelope on steps. Her breath caught as she retrieved it. Inside was a single key and a message. "Meet me at the old Harper estate. Midnight." Emily recognized the address near city edge. Her pulse spiked with equal parts dread and hope. The Harper estate loomed abandoned since 2018. Justin's family mansion sat behind locked gates. She remembered its cracked windows and vines. Mason's text glowed on her phone again. "Can you pick me up from Jake's?" Her worry for him warred with curiosity now. She typed, "Give me 10 minutes." Emily grabbed her coat and car keys. Rain pattered softly against the window pane. She tucked the mysterious key in her pocket. She drove through quiet streets, headlights slicing fog. Her mind replayed glimpses of Justin's face. She recalled his apology letter, never received. Now someone drew her back to old ghosts. Emily's knuckles whitened around the steering wheel. She reached the Harper estate gates in 10 minutes. Rust crunched under her brakes. She slipped the key into the padlock. The gate groaned open under cold midnight air. Tall hedges swallowed her car headlights. Broken path stones led to the front door. She stepped out, rain cooling her heated skin. Lightning flashed, illuminating cracked pillars. Emily held her breath at the threshold. A gravelly voice came from the shadows. "Emily Parker." Justin Harper's tone was flat. She forced her eyes into the dark hallway. "Why am I here?" she whispered, voice shaking. He stepped forward, face half hidden by shadow. In his hand, he held her first love note. The same note she never destroyed. Stormwater dripped from his coat sleeves. Emily's throat tightened at its ragged edges. He placed the torn note on a dusty table. "It's not mine anymore," he said softly. "Someone forged my handwriting again." Her heart lurched at his unexpected confession. "Why bring me here?" she asked, voice quivering. Justin's eyes glinted with remorse and fear. "I received a similar envelope tonight." He held up a matching key on a ring. "They want us both here at midnight." Emily stepped back, rain soaking her jeans. Her breath came out in visible puffs. "This is a setup," she realized aloud. Justin nodded, voice tight with urgency. "I feared this day would come." He brushed rain from his brow. Emily glanced toward a side corridor. Soft light glowed under a half-open door. She felt the weight of old secrets stirring. Someone had resurrected their shared past. A distant crash echoed from upstairs. Emily's stomach twisted into icy knots. Justin reached for her hand, firm. "We navigate this together," he insisted. She met his gaze, conflict warring inside. Trust felt fragile but necessary now. They stepped toward the staircase as thunder rolled. Every footstep awakened dusty portraits above. Emily's breath thudded in her chest. A shadow moved at the top landing. Justin raised a hand to halt her. The note in his pocket burned cold. He whispered, "Our first love or our first trap?" Emily swallowed hard, mind racing in the dark. Emily and Justin crept up the dust-choked staircase. Each step groaned beneath their weight. A stale breeze whispered through cracked banisters. Justin held Emily's hand tighter. He shushed her as a distant thump sounded. Their breaths echoed in the cavernous foyer. A flicker of movement caught Emily's eye. She froze. Justin halted beside her. Lightning flashed through fractured skylights. They saw a silhouette dart behind a curtain. Emily's heart pounded in her throat. "Someone's here with us," she mouthed. They edged toward a long hallway. Portraits watched with painted eyes. Footsteps pounced from a side room. Justin pulled Emily into shadow. A low crash rang through the night. They waited, hearts drumming silence. A pale note slid under a nearby door. Emily bent to retrieve it. Her fingers trembled against old paper. "Oath broken," it read in jagged letters. Rainwater dripped from the envelope's edge. Justin scanned the corridor warily. They pressed on toward the grand parlor. Broken chandeliers swayed overhead. A piano stood under torn velvet drapes. Keys were missing, strings rusted. Suddenly, behind them, a door slammed. Emily flinched as dust exploded. Justin spun, fists raised in defense, but the room was empty once more. Emily's palms were slick with sweat. She whispered, "They're toying with us." He nodded, jaw clenched tight. Together, they moved toward a lit doorway. Inside, a study glowed by candlelight. Maps and diagrams lay strewn on a desk. They recognized the estate's blueprints. A red X marked the west wing. Another note was pinned beneath glass. It read, "Meet Emmy alone, or lose her." Justin's face paled at the demand. Emily gripped his arm, forceful. A window shattered somewhere above. Cold air rushed through broken panes. They spun toward the noise. A heavy footfall descended the staircase. A hooded figure emerged in the doorway. Rain dripped from their cloak's edge. They carried a small metal case. Emily's breath caught at its sight. Justin whispered, "Don't trust them." The figure raised a gloved hand. "Help me," came a soft, urgent voice. They recognized the accent Southern drawl. The hood fell back, revealing warm eyes. "My name is Sarah Miller," she said. "I once worked for Justin's father." Emily and Justin exchanged wary glances. Sarah set the case on the desk. She lit another candle, revealing contents. Inside lay surveillance photos of Emily. Each photo captured her daily routine, and a fresh copy of the framed love note. Justin's face twisted with shock. Sarah spoke in clipped whispers. "This goes deeper than revenge. Someone controls every move you make." She tapped the note. "They know your past." Emily felt bile rise in her throat. Her secret was no longer hers alone. A sudden crash interrupted Sarah's words. The front door exploded inward with force. Masked intruders stormed the foyer. They carried torches and firearms. Emily yanked Justin toward a hidden door. Sarah followed, case in hand. They tumbled into a narrow servants' corridor. The walls pressed close in dim light. Footsteps thundered in pursuit behind them. Emily's foot caught, a brick gave way. She stumbled, scraping her knee on stone. Justin caught her, concern in his eyes. They raced past peeling wallpaper and pipes. Sarah led them toward a back stairwell. A single bulb flickered at the base. Justin paused, placing Sarah behind him. He drew strength from her cautious calm. Emily felt adrenaline sharpen her senses. Through a heavy door, they emerged into rain. Moonlight revealed the estate's overgrown gardens. Hedges formed a maze in silvery gloom. Sarah handed Emily a small flashlight. They slipped between damp hedgerows, silent. Branches whipped at their faces as they fled. Behind them, torchlights speared the darkness. Shouts pierced the midnight air. Emily's lungs burned with every gasp. Justin glanced back, urgency in his eyes. He pointed to a narrow iron gate. They sprinted toward their only escape. Sarah's gloved hand locked onto Emily's arm. "We can't split up," she hissed over rain. Emily met Sarah's gaze, stalwart and true. Justin nodded, guiding them through the gate. It groaned but swung open under force. They vanished into the whispering night. They paused in a hidden alley behind the estate. Their breaths came in ragged unison. Emily's heart thundered against her ribs. Justin's knuckles were white on the gate's latch. Sarah exhaled a long, weary breath. "The case contains answers," she murmured. Emily wiped rain from her face. Her eyes shone with newfound resolve. She fingered the crumpled note in her pocket. They know everything now, she thought. Danger lurked behind every shadowed turn, but she would not surrender her truth. Together they slipped into the misty streets. Portland's skyline lay distant in gloom. Thunder rolled as they melted into night. Their path was uncertain, threats all around. But Emily felt a fierce spark ignite. She would uncover the mastermind behind this. Before dawn, Sarah led them to her garage gym. The space reeked of rubber mats and oil. Old boxing gloves hung from exposed beams. Justin flipped on a single overhead lamp. Emily's legs felt heavy but determined. Sarah set down the metal case gently. "First, we learn to protect ourselves," she said. She handed Emily a pair of leather gloves. Emily slid them on, fingers stiff with cold. Sarah demonstrated a simple jab and cross. Emily mirrored her movements, breath steadying. Justin watched, nodding in quiet support. They practiced footwork along chalked floor lines. Emily's heart pounded with each pivot. Her muscles burned from unfamiliar strain. Sarah corrected her guard with calm precision. Emily listened, focusing on each careful tip. After jabs, Sarah introduced basic defensive rolls. They practiced tumbling across the padded floor. Emily fell hard at first and winced. Sarah caught her arm and reassured softly. Emily tried again, rolling with newfound grace. Her confidence blossomed with each successful turn. Next came target drills at a wooden dummy. Sarah showed how blocking redirects force. Emily struck the dummy in quick succession. Her arms ached from repeated practice. Justin cheered her small victories, voice warm. Emily smiled despite sore muscles. They took a break for water and quiet. Steam curled from their chilled breaths. Emily gazed at the case on a table. Its lock glinted in the garage's dim light. She thought of the threats back at the estate. Danger still shadowed her every move. Sarah spoke quietly. "Physical skill is only part." She opened the case, revealing headphones and tablet. "Information is power," she said firmly. They studied photographs of hidden cameras. Sarah taught Emily how to spot surveillance angles. Emily learned to mark blind spots on blueprints. Justin leaned in, tracing routes on the tablet. Emily's knuckles whitened around the stylus. She pictured escape paths through city streets. Her mind mapped each potential hiding place. Sarah guided them through digital security basics. Emily absorbed each lesson like a sponge. Evening light faded outside the garage door. They moved to partner drills on the mats. Sarah called out surprise attacks from different sides. Justin feigned grabs. Emily practiced swift releases. Her breathing synced with her newfound strength. Each successful maneuver filled her with pride. They ended with sparring mock scenarios. Sarah played the elusive attacker. Emily blocked, dodged, and countered carefully. Her strikes felt guided by focused intent. Sarah nodded once, approval shining in her eyes. Emily's chest swelled with hard-earned confidence. Justin stepped forward, wrapping Emily in a hug. "I'm proud of you," he whispered softly. Emily hugged him back, arms trembling with emotion. She realized how far she'd come tonight. Her fear had transformed into steely determination. Sarah gathered their gear under soft lamp glow. "Remember, training is only half the battle." She locked the garage door behind them. Outside, mist curled around quiet suburban homes. Emily drew a deep breath of cool night air. She felt stronger in body and resolve. Yet shadows of that warehouse still loomed. The mastermind remained hidden, threat undiminished. But now Emily had weapons beyond a note. She had skill, knowledge, and unwavering allies. Together they walked home under dim streetlights. Emily's pace was steady, steps sure. Her reflection in window panes showed new courage. She clutched Sarah's and Justin's hands in unity. Tomorrow she would face her adversary head-on. But tonight she embraced her growing power. Emily awoke to a silent dawn. Her phone screen glowed with missed call alerts. Justin's name flashed repeatedly. She dialed back with trembling fingers. "Emily," his voice cracked with panic. "They found Sarah's car burned at the lot." Smoke curled from twisted metal remains. Charred papers lay strewn across asphalt. Emily's stomach lurched at the news. Sarah's safe house had become a death trap. Justin arrived to meet her in tears. "She's missing," he whispered, voice hollow. Emily's throat constricted with fear. "I promised to protect her," Justin murmured. His fists clenched white at his sides. Emily gripped his arm and steadied him. They raced to the garage gym together. Door hinges creaked under their frantic push. Inside, the training equipment sat untouched. The metal case lay open on the table. Photographs of Sarah's face still pinned inside. Emily's eyes fell on one fresh photo. It showed her family's home address. Her heart hammered in icy dread. Justin snatched the case and cradled it. "Someone wants me to blame you," he said. Emily frowned, confusion and hurt mingling. "Why would they frame me for her disappearance?" Justin swallowed hard against rising emotions. "I don't know, but they know my father." Emily stiffened at the mention of him. Justin's father, Robert Harper, once a pillar. He had vanished after the estate scandal. Whispers said he died in that fire. Yet his influence lingered like toxic smoke. Emily realized the betrayal cut deeper still. A soft beep echoed from the case's lock. Emily looked up, startled and wary. A hidden compartment sprang open quietly. Inside lay a USB drive with her name. Sarah's handwriting scrawled on the label. "Play this when you both need truth." Emily hesitated, then plugged it into Justin's tablet. A video file blinked into life on screen. Sarah's calm face appeared in wavering light. "If you're watching," she began, voice steady, "trust no one except each other." Emily felt tears prick at her eyes. Sarah's image shifted to a dark room. Justin's father stood behind her, imposing. His cold smile sent shivers down Emily's spine. "I see you've involved my daughter," he murmured. Sarah flinched but held her ground firmly. "This ends tonight," Justin's father declared. The video cut to static and black. Emily stared at the dark screen. Justin's jaw slackened in disbelief. "She's been forced to record this," he hissed. Emily's breath hitched with sorrow and rage. She vowed to unravel the final deception. As they stepped outside into rising light, Emily felt the weight of new betrayal. Her own instincts had almost led her astray. Now she understood the true enemy's reach. They climbed into her car in silence. The USB drive burned cold in her coat. Night fell as Emily parked outside the Harper estate. Her headlights cut through dense fog near the gate. She gripped the USB drive in her trembling hand. Justin joined her on the passenger side. "Are you ready?" he whispered, voice taut. Emily nodded, breath caught in her throat. They slipped through a broken side entrance. Tall hedges loomed like silent sentinels around them. Sarah's warnings echoed in Emily's mind. "Trust no one except each other." Footsteps crunched behind a gravel path. Emily froze, heart pounding like a drum. A spotlight snapped on from the east wing. Masked guards flanked the doorway with rifles. Justin raised his hand to signal retreat. Emily shook her head, no turning back now. They dashed toward a nearby tool shed. Wooden boards creaked as they slammed the door. Inside, rusted tools dangled from nail hooks. Emily grabbed a length of metal pipe. Justin pulled a small flashlight from his pocket. They pressed backs together against the shed's wall. Outside, voices barked orders in harsh tones. Rain began to patter on the tin roof. Emily's knuckles whitened around the pipe. Justin scanned the shadows for an opening. A guard's boot thudded against the wooden planks. Emily swung the pipe, wood splintered under force. The guard recoiled, shouting for backup. Justin pulled Emily through a side gap. They emerged into a courtyard overgrown with ivy. Moonlight revealed stacked crates near a fountain. Emily lobbed the pipe toward a stack of crates. Crates toppled, sending a crashing distraction. Justin grabbed Emily's hand and they ran. Wet cobblestones slicked under their racing feet. Gunshots rang out, sizzling into the night air. Emily dove behind a broken marble column. Justin covered her, firing a small handgun twice. The bullets echoed against the stone walls. A guard fell, clutching his shoulder in pain. More guards closed in, torches bobbing ominously. They dashed toward the east wing's shattered window. Justin hoisted Emily up while rain sprayed inside. She crawled through, pants scraping against glass. Justin followed swiftly, flashlight beam bouncing erratically. Inside, grand hallways stretched under chandelier ruins. Their breath fogged in the stale, dusty air. Emily led them down a corridor lined with portraits. Each painted face watched their frantic retreat. She spotted double doors marked library ahead. Justin kicked them open with a thud. Books cascaded from broken shelves to the floor. They ducked behind the heavy oak desk. Outside, heavy boots pounded toward the library doors. Emily's grip tightened on the USB drive. Justin whispered, "I'll handle this, get the drive safe." He crept to the window alcove, pipe again in hand. Emily gathered blueprints from Sarah's case. She tucked them under her jacket with intent. A guard burst through the doors, rifle raised. Justin lunged with the pipe, disarming him in one move. The guard collapsed, rifle clattering across marble floor. Emily sprinted toward a side door marked service exit. Cold wind gusted as she flung it open. Justin caught up, bleeding but determined. They bolted into a concealed servants' tunnel. Water dripped from overhead pipes onto their shoulders. Emily held the USB drive like a lifeline. Justin pressed a hand to his side wound. "We can't stop," he panted, voice strained. Emily nodded, pushing him along the narrow passage. Their footsteps echoed until they emerged in a courtyard. The front moat's water lapped quietly under moonlight. A small boat was tethered near stone steps. "Help me with this," Emily urged, pointing. Justin winced but complied, climbing into the hull. Emily pushed off against wet stone. They glided across black water toward a wooden pier. Rain lashed their faces with stinging cold. Behind them, searchlights swept the estate grounds. Emily rowed with swift, rhythmic strokes. Justin steered them past submerged reeds, their breaths synchronized with the boat's gentle sway. Landing softly, Emily dragged the boat ashore. They collapsed onto damp grass under a willow. Justin inspected his wound, shallow but bleeding. Emily tore a strip from her shirt to bandage him. He winced but smiled, gratitude in his eyes. "We did it," he whispered, voice thick with relief. Emily tapped the USB drive against her palm. "It holds the final proof," she said softly. Justin nodded, trusting her lead completely. Thunder rumbled as they stood in the dark. Their silhouettes merged beneath the willow's fringe. They had escaped, but the battle wasn't over. Dawn's pale light filtered through Emily's curtains. She sat on her bed, phone in hand. Justin leaned against the doorframe, still bandaged. They watched the loading circle beside Truth MP4. The video began in a courtroom setting. Sarah appeared, standing before a judge's bench. She recounted Robert Harper's scheme in clear detail. Evidence from the USB flashed, bank records, emails, testimonies. Emily's eyes stung as the truth unfolded on screen. "Harper manipulated us both," Sarah testified firmly. Justin's father smirked behind his lawyer, but witnesses brought forward letters in Sarah's handwriting. Each note matched the forgery Emily once endured. The court murmured as the evidence proved irrefutable. Emily felt relief bloom in her chest. Justice wasn't immediate, but it felt within reach. Sarah's voice cut through the tense silence. "I acted to protect the company's reputation," Robert admitted. His admission echoed like a thunderclap in the courtroom. The judge's gavel fell with finality. "Robert Harper is hereby sentenced," the judge declared. Emily exhaled, tears slipping down her cheeks. Justin wrapped her in a gentle embrace. Outside, cameras captured headlines the next morning. A state heir convicted in forgery and kidnapping plot. Emily and Justin stood side by side on the courthouse steps. Their hands intertwined, faces lit by triumph. Mason greeted Emily with a relieved hug later. "You were amazing," he said, voice full of pride. Emily ruffled his hair, smiling through tears. Family dinners felt lighter, laughter filling the home. Back at the garage gym, Sarah awaited their arrival. She embraced both of them with quiet pride. "Your courage made this possible," she whispered. Emily nodded, gratitude shining in her eyes. Days later, Emily returned to her drafting table. Sunlight danced across fresh blueprints and plants. She sketched a design inspired by steel and glass. Her first project marked a new chapter in life. Justin joined her for their morning river jog. Misty dawn air wrapped around them like comfort. They paused under the steel bridge's familiar arch. Emily glanced at him, heart light with hope. He brushed a wet strand of hair from her face. "We framed our future together," he said softly. She laughed, breath warm against the cool river breeze. Handwriting never looked so clear before. Emily leaned into Justin's steady presence. Her past lay buried under truth's bright light. The river's water shimmered in early sunlight. Together, they walked forward toward unknown horizons. And Emily's first love note felt like a promise reborn.